Miss Finley, how long did you work for Mr. Hines?
Almost 6 years.
What was your position?
Executive secretary. I ran his office, tried to keep him organized. It wasn't always easy.
Oh?
Well, Mr. Hines liked people. He loved to talk and laugh, and he always had time for anybody with a problem, so it was kind of hard to keep him on his schedule, especially if he'd gone out to lunch and had a drink or two.
Did he drink a lot?
No, just now and then.
Was he conscientious?
Oh, very. Maybe even too much. He really put himself into his work, you know? He liked his work.
Were you aware of any personal problems recently?
No. Once in a while, he'd be a little bit down in the mornings, but he always seemed to come out of it.
Had he been under any unusual pressures lately?
Pressures?
Deadlines, conflicts with other executives. Was his job in jeopardy?
No. I mean, not as far as I knew.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Hines?
Relationship?
Were you close?
Well, he was my boss for 6 years. We worked together. We trusted each other. No, there was nothing personal, nothing intimate, I mean. He was like a father to me. Always there, always wanting to make sure that I was happy. Strong. Why did he do it? He knew he had heart trouble. Why?
That's what we're trying to find out, Miss Finley. Why?
Insight. Stories of modern man's search for meaning, freedom, love, insight.
I'm trying to find some motivation, some reason for his bizarre behavior, Mrs. Hines. Your husband seemed well-disciplined, rarely sick. His company physicals indicate high blood pressure and a family history of heart disease. Now, that's a very dangerous combination in a man his age. He was aware of his condition, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. He took pills for blood pressure and was constantly trying to diet. Started a new one every Monday.
But he never stayed on them?
Oh, for a few days. But then we'd have a late night. You know, company dinner, maybe some friends over. Jim loved to eat and drink. He was an extrovert. He liked to tell stories, make people laugh.
Sounds like a very nice man.
He was. Everybody liked my Jim. You're so quiet tonight. Want to talk about it?
I guess when you stare into the fire, you're supposed to review your life. That's mandatory, isn't it?
I guess.
Been a good life, Annie. I've got an awful lot to be grateful for. 3 bright sons, more money than a poor boy could have ever dreamed of making. And most important of all, a beautiful, loving wife. God has been kind to me.
No regrets?
Just one. When we were younger, No matter how tired you were, no matter how much the boys got you down, I could always lift your spirits, make you laugh. I can't do that anymore. The jokes fall flat, the conversations are endless. And when you have finally gained strength from them, I am drained. You're my only failure, Annie. The only person I can't deal with. And yet you're the only person that means anything to me.
You really are a chauvinist, you know. Well, you're Mr. Wonderful, offering a helping hand, and I'm the tear-stained waif, too insecure to grasp it. Now, somehow you state things, so I'm one down.
Oh, come on. Works well in business. Always deal from strength.
How about the future? Do you see that in the flames?
It's gonna be a great future, Annie. Full of world travel and love and spoiled grandchildren.
Together?
Of course, together. Till death do us part.
I've talked to many of your husband's friends and his fellow workers, and they seem extraordinarily fond of him. Do you have any idea where it happened?
No. None.
Had you been troubled lately? Are you aware of any stresses or problems?
No. Nothing in particular. Jim always seemed to have everything under control.
I have never made a major decision without discussing it with you first.
Yes, but it's always been your decision. Always.
Yes, because you can't make one.
Do you know what it's like all these years to be nothing but Mrs. James Hines? What a charming husband you have, Mrs. Hines. So witty. And your boys, they're all stamped from the same mold. Oh, big and strong like their father. You must be so proud.
They've been good years. At least I think they have.
For you, they have. You've got it all. Good morning, Mr. Hines. Your coffee's ready. Have a nice weekend. I've seen that little secretary of yours. Boy, would she like to see me disappear?
Oh, come on, Annie. Joyce is just a kid. She's like a daughter.
A fool, that's what I am. Just a change of life fool. Afraid to let go. My sons, my husband. But you see, I'm your wife and their mother. But who the hell am I? Help me, Jim, please.
Mrs. Hines, would you tell me about your marriage?
What? What about it?
Was it a good one? How did it start?
It was very traditional. Church wedding, surrounded by family. I became pregnant on our honeymoon. Both of us thought that was just fine. We were so proud, assuming the roles our parents had played. Oh, that was all right then. That's what we were supposed to do. Jim climbed the company ladder. I kept the nest.
Were you happy in that role?
I loved it. 3 chubby sons in 5 years. I was fulfilled. Necessary. Gainfully employed.
And how about recently?
Ho, 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 Santa's home. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Oh, look at you. 3 months at school and you're all grown up.
Merry Christmas,
Hi,
Bumpy.
Dad.
Welcome home.
Tim, look at him, our baby. He's all grown
Let
up.
me help you with that.
It's mostly dirty laundry. I've sort of been saving up.
Oh,
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind. It'll be the first full load I've had in the washer since last summer.
Same old Mom.
so how's school?
Good. Actually, it's great now that the season's over. I get to drink beer again.
Coach let you do that?
Dad, I forgot to ask.
Any girlfriends?
Oh, you know, nothing to write home about.
Not good, huh?
Listen, when you're star of the freshman football team, they're all over
Since
you.
when do linemen get the girls?
The girls are different now, Dad. You know, television, the instant replay, they really dig the sex and violence.
I envy you, son. It's a good time of life.
You studying hard?
Oh, yeah, you know.
You want a beer?
Sure.
Oh, Jim, he's only 18.
Come on.
Be happy it's just beer.
Tell me all about school.
It's good. I'm really having fun. It's neat. Hey, Dad?
Yeah?
You get those playoff tickets?
Sure I did. 4 up around 35.
Oh, great.
Just you and me and your brother, just like old times.
Who do you want?
Whom do you think?
Yeah, how many points are you going to give?
Welcome home. This isn't a good time for women like me. I mean, I know there's a whole new world out there, but it's hard to grow into it, to change.
Do you know that Mrs. Barker's going to give me 3 semesters credit for life experience? How about that? Do you know, Anne, if I really work at it, I could get my degree in women's studies a year from June.
But, oh, the classes. I mean, sitting in there with all those kids, doesn't it bother you?
No, they're absolutely great. Would you believe one of them made a pass at me? Really? Can you imagine? Do you know that he's even younger than my own daughter?
Oh, here, do you want some more sherry?
Oh, no, thanks, Anne, no. Do you know, when Matt died, I didn't know what in the world to do. I felt empty, destroyed. It was, well, the kids were on their own. They didn't need me. Without them, I didn't seem to exist. Nobody needed me. All of a sudden, I was old.
You're not old.
I was senile. I sat around and I sipped a lot of wine. Finally, Helen Beckley talked me into taking a trip to Mexico. I met a very charming man.
A shipboard romance?
It was more than that. Life started again. It was as though, well, I had a future again. I had someone to cook for, someone to look pretty for, someone to live for.
Are you thinking of getting married again?
I was. He wasn't. I guess maybe I pushed too hard. And she was only 26.
That's rough.
Well, I couldn't forgive him. It was as though that was the final destructive push. He didn't leave me anything to fall back on except my self-pity. And boy, oh boy, did I wallow in that. For months and months and months. Blaming him, blaming everybody. Until one lonely, cold morning, I heard a little voice saying, "No one is responsible for your happiness but yourself, so get off your rear end." Well, that was quite a shock. But I decided that I was going to do just that. I decided I was alive. I had my options. I told myself there had to be other charming men in the world, or at least other charming people. And do you know something, Anne? The minute I stopped waiting and started doing, all of a sudden I started liking my life, liking myself. It was as though the minute I stopped clutching at people and started doing interesting things, people started being interested in me. And then, instead of sherry, I began getting high on life. to life. To life.
I really envy you, Peggy. I really do.
Don't envy me, Anne. Don't. Here. I want you to go and see Mrs. Barker. You and I can carpool to the campus. I gotta go. Have to be at the library in half an hour. I am going to give you a buzz tomorrow.
What's women's studies?
Well, it's a whole new field. History, pride in women's contributions. They go into psychology and therapy, all sorts of things to make women stronger people.
Taking charge of your own life, learning to live in a deeper, fuller way, emerging women, self-fulfillment. They give degrees for that?
Yes. Peggy's working for one right now.
Then what?
Then what?
What the hell's she gonna do with it? Teach, buy, sell? I mean, where's the marketplace? That stuff looks like merit badges for Girl Scouts.
But it's a starting point, don't you see?
Yeah, Peggy always was into dippy things, even before Matt died. Remember when she was trying to lose weight with a hula hoop?
Inches.
Whatever. She's flaky.
But she's doing something, like you told me. She's got options. She's not just sitting around.
You remember when Jimmy wanted to major in drama instead of pre-law? Well, we got him back on the track, didn't we? Can you imagine that big hulk wanting to be an actor?
What has that got to do with this?
Look, Anne, if you want to go back to college, that's great. But don't waste your time and money on some Peggy Suchek fad. Take some courses that'll be of some use. English, science, accounting.
You don't want me to go back to school or get a job or do anything other than be Mrs. James Hines. Keep my mouth shut and cook the dinner, right? Isn't that it?
No, not it at all. But as Mrs. James Hines, I don't want you making a damn fool of yourself either. This isn't college. Your sons go to college. This is a ripoff. Middle-aged women conning other middle-aged women. Busy work, sugar-coated time fillers. 3 semesters of credit for life experience? Oh, come on, Anne. You know better.
Well, I know this. There's a whole new world out there, and if we're going to survive in it, both of us have to change. Both of us have to grow.
Both of it? Milk it. So far, so good.
Good morning, Mr. Hines' office. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Hines. He's in a conference right now. Can we call you back? I really don't know. They've been in there for over an hour already. Yes, Mrs. Hines. No, I won't let him get into another meeting without calling you first. All right. Yes, I understand. Thanks for calling, Mrs. Hines. Bye. Yes, sir.
How's that memo coming?
It's almost finished.
Any calls?
No, just your wife.
Well, talk to me. Don't just sit there passing judgment. I'm your wife.
I'm well aware of that.
It's always your way, isn't it? Always.
You're drunk.
You betcha. And you want to know why? 'Cause I am sick to death of this. What the hell do I have to look forward to, huh? Sitting here all day in this barn, nothing to do, waiting for you to call. Or one of your sons. They're all alike, you know. Boy, selfish, take. Good old Mom. She was there when I was sick. She was there when I needed her. Who needs her now? You? Hell no. You got it all downtown, Mr. Big Shot. I'm sorry, Mrs. Hines. He's in conference now. We'll call you back. That's my life, Buster. Waiting for the whole world to call me back. Waiting for somebody, anybody, to give a damn about me. You know, all I know is how to dress and keep house and raise kids. And whose fault is that? Huh? Huh? Who made me quit school? Who got me pregnant?
I can't imagine.
You, that's who. You and your male supremacy. Turned me into a house pet. A slave, nothing more.
What do you want from me?
I don't know. Can't you see? I don't know. All I know is it's a bad deal. It's dumb. The world belongs to middle-aged men and it crushes middle-aged women. No matter what I do, I'm at the bottom. Right at the bottom. Nobody gives a damn. Especially you. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe he did it because of me.
Only one person decides when he's had enough of life, Mrs. Hines. Your husband, all of us. We control our own destinies.
Will he live?
It's a bit too early to tell, but yes, I think so. He had a massive coronary. It's a long road back. He won't be the same man.
Well, maybe I won't be the same woman either. Joyce? Hello.
Sorry.
Oh, how nice of you to come.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He's a wonderful man, you know. We were all so shocked to hear.
Appreciate your concern.
Will he, I mean, he'll...
Of course he will. You know my Jim. He'll be barking orders before you know it. You can't keep a man like that down.
Why him?
strongly. Oh, cry. Go ahead. Sorry. Life is full of surprises, you know. Jim hated hospitals. He's never even stayed in one until now. He was born on his uncle's farm. He never had his tonsils out or appendix or anything.
Mr. John Blackford.
When I had the boys, he'd come to visit me at night, but he'd get out as soon as he could. He just hated the atmosphere, the uniforms, everything about it. He would talk to me, I'd say. And he'd say, what about? You're the one who had the baby. And I'd say, well, that couple, they're talking. And he said, sure they are. He's telling her what he had to eat today and how he's barely surviving without her. And, you know, we'd eavesdrop on the other couples in the maternity ward, and that's what they were talking about. Food.
Oh, Mrs. Hines.
Call me Anne. And tell them that Jim's coming back. We won't be able to depend on him as much. We'll have to do more for ourselves, but, well, maybe that's the way it should be. Know this. There's a whole new world out there, and if we're going to survive in it, both of us have to change. Both of us have to grow.